Hi guys. So, I thought I'd turn the camera on for a little bit before I go for my swim and use this opportunity as an opportunity to record a little bit. I'll go ahead and have that on. This is an opportunity to do a dear diary. Kind of, whoop, can't forget I got the mic on. I can't take that off. So, this is kind of a chance for me to, hopefully the audio is okay. The pickup is from my mic here, and so hopefully you're not hearing the flames back there, the sound that too much. So let me know if that audio is okay, and I should be able to put the camera back far away, and it should still be good, I hope. Anyway, I thought I'd make a little video to kind of commemorate the 5th year of my return to the United States, which happened a few days ago during the week when I was at work. So very busy, cooking in the evening, so I really didn't have a chance to do that. But it's my Saturday and my work day is done, the driving instructor, and I wanted to just, turn the camera on. I'm a little out of practice. It used to be back in Japan, it was a very easy thing to turn the camera on and just talk. That's because Japan was a good conduit for that. It made it easy to do so. Hold on, let me try to do something. Let me try to share this. Thoughts after 5 years. I'm just going to go ahead and share that out. Share. And then I think I'll also go ahead and share that out on the old Twitter space. Back in just a sec. Oh, it's nice and warm. So, 5 years ago, about 5 days back, on February 27th, 2014, I arrived back in the United States. Now the rain comes down, and it was not a rainy day. And I gotta go hide from the rain. Come on, it was not a rainy day. And I did not have a can of water, and I was not ready to go for a swim. But it was a scary day. Let's get under the awning here. There we go. It was a scary day because I had no idea what was coming, and everything was at risk. It started off as kind of just a faint impression and an idea of getting back to the United States, largely to help my daughter to become reaccustomed with the world that we had removed her from after our initial ambition of going to Japan was resolved. And we had come up with some good rationales for going to Japan in the first place. I don't want to re-enumerate them now, but really, all in all, probably a lot of wanderlust. That's probably the thing that brought Yumiko and I together in the first place, and certainly has been a sustaining factor in 33 years of being together. And I don't know how many homes we've shared. It's been 4 times across the Pacific, with that fact. So I could probably use the excuse of the family's well-being or my daughter's well-being as our motive, and there's some truth to that. But a more genuine motive is the interest in something new. And so it took about 2 years to get a strike. So imagine like the pool there. Pool was like America, right? And I wanted to come back, so got my resume all together, living in Japan, working as an English teacher. Excuse me. What do I do with my glasses? So living in Japan, working as an English teacher. And I got my resume together. I took that thing, put it on the end of a hook, and went plunk in the pond of the United States. And I was using monster.com at the time. And I let it sit there, and it bobbed in the water. Let it sit there. And it got exactly 0 bites, not even a nibble. And that was the case for about 3 months that I kept trying with the same resume, just thinking if I could get it around. I would bring up Monster and I would search for particular types of jobs. I was going for IT jobs, training, support, all kinds of things, and nothing. And I was a little shocked that that was the case, because I'd never had a hard time finding work in the past before that. Every stage of my life when I'd wanted to transition, able to do a little bit of research, figure out what was necessary to do a particular job, try to garner a few skills that would make it illustrative of that. And I was often able to, without lying, sometimes leverage my past in such a way that it looked good. And typically all I needed was an interview, and I would usually have a good chance. I do good give an interview, I think. But I wasn't sure just why. I know since then that it wasn't because I was living in Japan, because I've continued to do that while I was here, and continued to get the no bites. Although now I'm far more qualified than I ever was before. Oops, I see a comment. There's really no good reason anymore why I shouldn't be able to get hits. So it's still kind of a mystery. Let's see. Somebody said something. What happened to your family? My family? Well, they're sitting up there. Emily's working on the sewing machine, and Yumiko is. Last time I was just in there, she was laying on the bed watching YouTube videos, I think, or watching a Japanese drama. So I kept that up for a little while. I was quite disheartened. Couldn't quite figure out what was going on. And I kept it up, and I kept it up, and I kept it up, and nothing ever got better. And then it was about 2 years after that, maybe about a year and 6 months or so, that my brother said, "Hey, Kurt, because he knew I was doing this job search thing. He says, why don't you come over here and come over for a visit? Let me take you out for drinks with one of the managers where I work, and just kind of ask about, what it would take to get in." So I did that, and I got an airplane ticket, and I couldn't take much time off from work, so I literally came in, and for 2 days, and I came in, and I went out. I had an evening, probably about a 2-hour session of some drinks with that particular manager, and I laid out my case. I said I'd like to come back to America, get back into the IT field, and I told her a little bit about myself, and she said, "Yeah, you're not qualified. Your skills are out of date. Your whatever certifications you've got are obsolete. There's a 10-year plus gap in your skill, in your experience." She didn't go so far as to say that I was 50, but I think that had something to do with it. And it was made clear that some effort would need to be made, some significant effort, more than just, dressing up my resume and trying to make things look better. Some significant effort would need to be made. Let's take a walk. For anyone to give me a second chance. So, oops, goodness. So, that is precisely, so I took that to heart. I got back, went home that evening, back to my brother's house, got on the airplane and flew away. She gave me some very specific pointers about what I need to do. And I'll check comments in a little bit. Very specific pointers about things that were basically hot in the IT industry at that time, so that if I could, because what she was telling me was, a lot of these resumes, the reason I was probably not getting any responses was they weren't even getting picked up, because these resumes, when you put them into the corporations, they go through the HR filters. The computer system filters them for keywords, key phrases, and then spits out a short list of qualified candidates. So there wasn't even a human being. I wasn't getting past the computers. So I spent about half a year working really hard, getting some certifications that I needed. I was taking night classes, so to speak, online classes, and these weren't simple classes. I mean, they were complicated classes, and at the end I would have to have a proctored exam. I have to pay for it, and I would have like a Skype session with the examiner who would give me a test, and I passed the stuff and I got the certifications, which allowed me then to add some important acronyms to my resume. So now at that point, I knew where I wanted to be. I had enjoyed my conversation with that particular manager. So the first thing I did was I let her know what I had done. I mean, she said if I can do something to make myself seem qualified, then she would be willing to, when a position came up, she wouldn't guarantee me anything. She would simply say that I could be given a shot. I would still have to get through the computer filters, like I said before. And so happened, then we waited, and eventually a job that might fit, it's kind of an entry-level thing in a way, but a good job, came up, and I would submit my resume through the system, and lo and behold, it got through the filters. And it got into the real hands of a human being. Now, it didn't get in the hands of the people that I was talking to. It got into the hands of the HR group. It's a big government organization, so it still has a long ways to go to get to a human being within the organization where I want to work. To make a long story short, it made it. And I was given an interview date. And, interviewing against a lot of other people. And I got on another airplane, flew over the Pacific, arrived in the evening, and then went to the interview in the morning. And to make a long story short, I got the job. And that thus began perhaps one of the most humbling, challenging, and difficult years of my life. Because even though I had put on some good window dressing on my resume, I was not truly, I think I was qualified. I think I was. But I really wasn't truly ready. And I was on probation for a year. And I knew there were times that I could have been told to leave. And there are probably some times that I think that I would have told myself to leave. But boy, did I try hard. And I continue to try hard in 5 years. And I won't go on. Don't want to make this any complimentary session, complimenting myself for anything. But here. And at this point, and I'll stop now, but at this point, it's no longer a question of feeling qualified or anything like that. It's a matter now of, this snail's going to get stepped on. Now it's more a matter of digging in to really capitalize on what has become of this. Now, what I mean by the capitalizing on that is not a monetary capitalization. It's a capitalization of good, in being in consistency, in keeping with what I call the good life, which is the portion which is the consequence of going alone. The book that I wrote. Far enough into it, if you get through all that stuff, you'll get to the section at the end called The Good Life, which has the 6 objectives and institute a well-lived life. So how can I now use where I am towards that end? I've got 9 years left. I'm going to retire on December 19th, 9 years from now. So what would that be? 2019? 28. Yeah. So December 19th, 2028 is my retirement date. And what can I do to make good use of the circumstance I'm in that time, both professionally, and I haven't even talked about the personal stuff, but personally, of course, as well. Let me see if any comments are in there. There we go. Doesn't scroll very well, though. Oh. Hi. What happened to the family? I mentioned that earlier. They're at home. Hi. Oh, haven't seen them in a while, so just curious. Yeah, because I don't show them. They don't. I don't really bring them here. Are we on vacation? No, this is where we live. I just came down to do a swim. Hold on. Oh crap. There it goes away. Whoop. No, I don't want to report myself. And so I came down to do my evening swim, and I thought I would turn this on. So, hold on. Oh, goodness, why wouldn't it scroll? I know, because my finger's hot or too cold. I don't know, guys. Hold on. The comments won't stay up, and they won't scroll. Here we go. Are you fluent in Japanese? No. If so, you could be a Japanese interpreter. No, I don't think so. You're a good soul, Kurt. Thanks. Greetings from Florida. Been watching you for years. You always have good content. Thanks. Greetings from Australia. Wow, so many people. Okay, let's go ahead and toss this can. So, on the personal side, let's pop it here. On the personal side, where did my key go? Hold on. Family's been here about 4 years now. A little under. Emily is about to graduate from high school. Here's my key. And go off to college. She's got a boyfriend. She's got a job. She's got a car. She's 18. All those good things now in her life. So her life is about to enter a new stage. Yumiko is working. She's working for a Japanese corporation. I'm working, of course, as I mentioned. And we've settled into a nice life, a nice living, a nice routine, a nice circumstance. It's pleasant. It's very good. Not as secure as it would have been if we had never come to Japan. If we had never gone to Japan. Let me go hide under that awning right there. It's really starting to come down right now. Let's get out of the rain. Our circumstance would be very much better if we had not gone to Japan, which was a very costly affair. But I think it was worthwhile. I would do it again. And all the expenses, all the loss, all the costs, I would do it again, definitely. Is that sour grapes? And I feel like I'm repeating myself from the past. Maybe a little bit, but there you go. So what's coming up? What's coming up next? I'll go ahead and stop in a second. 2019 is the year of promoting my book, Going Alone. 2019 is the year of getting out, of doing more adventures and continuing the story of going alone. And also other themes, like the Stoic life as well. So I expect to do more of that. I still have not managed to find my footing on YouTube. It's very hard to do that. I'm really stunned at how hard it is to regain one's footing with a huge change like that. It used to be so easy to make videos like this, content like this. Now it's pulling teeth. And I know that the type of videos that I'm putting out now, the Freeway Bible stuff and the motorcycle vlogs are is for the most part, for most people, as dull as possibly could be. But I'm actually enjoying them. So there's that for personal entertainment purposes. And I don't know that I'll ever be able to do like I did in Japan, which was so free and easy because of the content and circumstances. I mean, it's like hard not to make something interesting when you live in a place like that. And this is just not the same. And that's okay. It's okay with me if that's over. It's okay if that part is done. I'll continue to use the channel as a vehicle for sharing and for communication, but it may never be anything like before. Which I'd be lying if I tell you that wasn't the case. Not so much because I miss it, but because it might become a good next chapter in the life. We'll see. But I think now it's time for me to sign off and get in the swim. There's the students in there studying. Somebody said something. I'll check the last bit, check the comments, and then we're going to jump in the water. Do my laps, and then go in and have dinner. By the way, how's the audio? Hope it's okay. Let's see, I think I saw a comment. And it is raining here. Let's see. What do you do like, bro? Oh. What do you do like, bro? What successful businesses channels are the niche ones? Just do what you like, bro. Oh, I see what you're saying. The successful channels are the niche ones. Thank you, are soft and stay well. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear the audio is good. Thank you for the encouragement of just do what I do. I appreciate that, and I will do that. I will just do what I do. And for now, though, I've got to put this stuff away and do my 10 laps. So you guys take care. Thanks for popping around and watching. Expect maybe more of these Dear Diaries. Bye. Bye, Berserk Mogi.